Hey everybody, what's up? Today is Monday here at City Fam offices. Want to make a vlog, just documenting the journey, and thanks everybody for watching. If you're watching, this isn't going to be probably a super long one, but I just want to fill everybody in on everything that's been happening in my world. So we had an event this weekend. We actually had two events this weekend. We had a Renegade on Friday. We went bowling at Mustang Alley. Saturday we had a volunteer event that I actually did not attend, but I was at the bowling event, and I was the photographer. I was the male ambassador lead. You might not know what that means. Actually, I was the only male ambassador. I was the marketing person, so I was supposed to do the post on social media. And I got some negative feedback from a member, just on some stuff. And honestly, like, there was some she was justified in saying some of it because my attitude has kind of been bad lately. Like, it just stinks right now. My attitude sucks. And you know, like, I guess I've gotten to a place over time where I've been really frustrated and resentful, you know, because I'm doing a lot of the work. You know what I mean? Like, there's just too few people to do all the work. And I care so much about the organization that I guess I've done it. You know, I've worked really hard for a very long time, and I've got myself to a place where I'm just so burnt out, you know, so frustrated. And I'm like, to the point where I've kind of like, my attitude sucks towards people in the organization because people haven't stepped up to help. Like, people that I feel like maybe that are benefiting from the organization, maybe they're, you know, that if other people would step up, then the work would get spread out. And so anyway, you know, I got some negative feedback from this member, and I talked. Just so happened that Chris Lockamy was at the event with me, and I sat down and I talked to him about it, and I kind of got to a place, and I feel like maybe God brought me here, but I'm like, I need to take a step back. I need to stop trying to control everything, stop trying to do everything. I mean, I'm a volunteer, you know. For those of you that don't know, like, I don't get paid for this either. And I've worked, you know, ran around sticking my fingers in holes trying to do everything and keep it together. And now I'm in a place where I'm just like, you know what, if this is really God's idea, which I believe that it is, I need to just kind of let him do it and stop trying to do everything myself, because this can't be the way that he wants to do it with me having a shitty attitude, trying to run around and do all these things that I'm not even good at. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be scared of letting things crash, you know, or even not happen, you know. So for example, like, we haven't had a marketing person, so I'm the guy that sends the emails. I do all the social media posts. Like I said, photographer. Like, there's a lot of hats that only a couple people wear. I wear a lot of them, and I'm like, you know, I can't do it anymore. I just can't. So if we don't have a marketing person, then, you know, the email doesn't go out. Or if we don't have volunteers for the Orioles games, like, then we don't get the money. But, you know, if God doesn't show up and people don't step up, then it just won't happen. And then, you know, City Fam will suffer because of it. And that's just the way, you know, that it'll have to be. But I believe that, I do believe that it's God and that he'll show up. But I'm just being transparent because I'm a big believer in that. And, you know, either God's going to show up and he's going to send the right people to fill in the gaps, or we just won't do it. You know, we don't have to do everything, you know, we don't have to do everything. You know, we could grow at his pace, not at my pace. So I'm really relieved, actually. I feel like really like I can breathe again. So I just kind of, you know, I'm just going to start focusing on the things that I'm good at, which is creating content, which is talking about City Fam and why it needs to be. And, you know, hopefully finding talent to fill in those roles instead of trying to do everything myself. And then if we don't find talent for those roles, we just won't do those things. And, you know, I believe that eventually someone will step up and say, hey, you know what, we should be doing this. And then we'll say, great, you know what, you're right. Why don't you do that? So that's what we're going to do. And if they don't, then we won't do it. And that just means that you know, it's not time to get it done. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Gonna work on the business, but not in the business, or work on the organization, but not in the organization. And if people would step up and help, there'll be room for them, but if they don't, we just won't do it. So that's like the big news, I think, for this week. So lots of cool stuff happening. Even when I say that, I think about all the interest that we're getting. Like we just had Slovenia. I don't even know where that's at. They're meeting. They're meeting for the first time later this week or next week. So right now there's groups in New York City that have met. They've already done 2 or 3 weeks of the curriculum. Houston's met several times. Newark, Delaware's met. I think Naples, Florida's met. And now Slovenia is meeting in the next week. And there's probably 15 or 20 other places that are in the process of forming groups. Some of them, it's only 1 or 2 people that have reached out from their area, so they're trying to find others. Some of them, LA, I think, is about to get started, Los Angeles. So it's really cool, so that has actually added to my frustration or whatever. It's just put pressure on me, because and a lot of that resentment or whatever I was feeling, because I'm feeling like, oh God, this, here it is. This was always the dream, and now people are wanting to do it, and we ain't even got our shit together in Baltimore. Like, how are we going to manage this? So that was the feeling that I was getting, and then of course, that's not a good feeling. It's not a good attitude to have. So anyway, now I'm like, you know what? If this is God, he'll step up. He's going to show up, and he'll provide people, and everything will fall into place. And if it's not, then it'll go away. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, that's how all in I have to be with it. And that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just going to kind of do the things that I'm good at and the things that I like to do, and then hopefully, people will step up and help in other places. At the right time. So yeah, lots of cool stuff happening. We actually are going to New York City on the 19th, so not this weekend, but next weekend. They're having their first social event to benefit. They're going to do a rooftop onesie party. So that's going to be really cool. And they're going to have a donation at the door, and the money's going to go to a local shelter. So we actually are going up there with the leadership team, and they actually have a 3-bedroom townhouse for us all to stay in. They're providing for us, and we're going to go up there and hang out with the New York City fam, or soon to be City fam. We're not actually letting them use the name yet. We want them to go through the 8 weeks first, but it's going to be really cool. So it's just our way of giving back to our volunteers, our leaders. Go up there on Friday, hang out. We're going to go to the onesie party on Friday night. I think we're going to go to a haunted house on Saturday night, probably walk around during the day, and then personally I'll go to Hillsong on Sunday before coming back. So it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited. I love New York. Me and Billy Lofton were reminiscing about it the other day. 4 years ago this month, or actually 4 years ago in November, Billy and I went to New York City because we had heard about this group called Friday Night Live, and they were meeting in a bar. And it was this, I don't know, there was this edgy thing that we heard about, and I was like, man, this is what I'm talking about. Let's go up there. So we drove up there to see it, and we went out to this Irish bar. I forget what part we actually didn't find the group. They were there where we were, but we didn't find them. But this was before we had a name or anything. City Fam was only a dream at the time, but it was 4 years ago next month that Billy and I went there, and now Billy is married to Ariana, just got married, and a bunch of us are going back, of course, with all of our City Fam leaders. So it's really like full circle. I'm really excited to go there and just kick it with everybody and have a reason to be there. And I still believe that this is the beginning of something that's going to spread around the world. I really do. So that's what's coming in 2 weeks. We're gonna be at Fells Point Festival this Saturday, volunteering, pouring beers for a cause. Cause we ain't got no money. No. But anyway, but yeah, if you're in Fells Point, come on out. We'll be there. And not sure where the Renegade for November is yet. And the service event for November, the day before Thanksgiving, we will be volunteering with the Salvation Army again at the Baltimore Convention Center, feeding the homeless. So we did this last year. It was one of our best events of the year. Probably had about 100 volunteers out. So keep that on the calendar if you want to do that. So I think that's it. See you guys.